Hey, what's up, guys? So I have my sidewall piece ready. I spent the last couple minutes actually coming up with a sidewall pattern that's gonna work to be an absolute bag. As you can see from this side, it's gonna be pretty big. So I'm gonna show you with this side of the head what I did on this side, just to save a little time. So basically, I went through. You know how there's this oblong side right here, right? Well, normally what I do when I'm doing sidewalls is I'll do them both at the same time, so then I can kind of press out the pocket, and then kind of sit there and do this and kind of see where the channel's forming. But to save a little time, because I know YouTube only gives you like 15 minutes to kind of get your point across, and basically pulls the Oscars or whatever that show is where they start playing the music telling you went too long. So when I go around, basically do, yeah, that's going to be right. It looked a little weird because I was looking at the other side. But I started an interlock right here. So what I did over here was I did that, and then I went through, see this little guy right up here? I went through here, that very top hole, which is going to work to kind of pull that mesh down. And then on the other side, I skipped a hole. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to go around the plastic from the top side around. Then I go up through this mesh hole. And now this one's going to be pretty difficult. You really got to pull pretty hard to get it to come down. So it's going to look like this. And then my next one, I believe I did interlock, interlock, and then I did one interlock. So yeah, it went, okay, just so you guys can see it. I went through the top side of this next mesh hole. So there's your one. Meanwhile, I'm holding this part tight because you don't want to loosen it. And then once you get it there, you do the same thing for your interlock. So you're going to go through top side. So you'll go through around this side and then up through the mesh. And then see how you create that little L shape? You just start pulling it down. But actually, did I do that right? So there we go. I accidentally put it through the loop before. But you can tell right here that it is pushing it down. I know this probably isn't going to be the tightest channel, but the pocket's a little lower too. So it is a little more difficult. Plus it's so wide that some of the channeling kind of is a pain in the butt. Wait a minute. Okay. So now, next I'm going to do a 2. Sorry, I have to keep checking back on my other side just to make sure it's even. That's another important thing you got to do. Make sure everything's even, because then your channel is going to be in the middle too. I probably should have done this on the other side just because it's easier. Oops. made a knot. So I went over the top through these 2 diamonds. So I'm going to keep pulling it down just to show you. And then after that, I started going to the underside. So rather than going over here and through, I'm going to go through the inside and then through that loop. And then you're just going to want to pull like straight up and then down. And then I bring the string back around the front. I mean, these patterns, it may not work for you. I just wanted to make a bag just for giggles, I guess. So that's why I'm not really, telling you full-on exact patterns. But yeah, basically after you get through about depending on which hole you want to start in. Since I started in technically the second hole, because I count this as the first, that's where my top string's through. So after you go 1, 2, maybe 3 spots where you're going to want to interlock, that's where you start, your doubles, your triples, and whatever you want to do, just to kind of create your bagalicious pocket. And so I'm just going to rush through the rest of this bottom, and then later on maybe I'll make another video of the finished product and tell you the exact pattern I used, just in case you guys want to try it. Right now it's seeming like it's going to be pretty whippy though, so I'm just going to give you that warning just as a start. And then again, just so you guys see, next mesh hole over the top, then you bring it from the bottom side around to the top, and then since this one's a triple, see right there I just created a double, so then you go around this side again. There you go. There's your triple. Like I said, you go through the bottom. A lot of people are seeming like, they're saying the goalie heads are so difficult to string. But I learned on goalie heads before I learned on the short stick. So I guess that's why it might come to me a little easier, because most of you guys have learned on, shorties, because most of the stringers on here that I know are short sticks or long poles. And they haven't used a head this size. So since I got used to these first, it's kind of come second nature to me. So I'll go one more triple. And then again, pushing out the pocket. I might have to switch that bottom triple to a double, because I'm starting to notice the pocket's kinking up a little bit right here. So again, I'll show you the final product when I'm done. And then finish off, I just do a quick double. Just a little something to kind of clean up that little gap at the bottom. Then obviously for this huge, gigantic bag, yeah, it's gonna be need to be a pretty long bottom string. So there we go. So you can tell, once I button this up at the bottom, it's going to be a pretty decent girthy pocket. Channel wise, it's not so good right now, but you can kind of beat it, and once you beat it into submission a little bit, it comes better. But it's pretty good right now. And that is all for the sidewalls. And for goalie heads, they take a pounding. So I would definitely suggest doing double knots rather than a single, because it's just going to get sucked right through that hole. And you're getting up into like getting shot at 80, 90, even 100 maybe. Knots take an abuse, and sometimes they'll seep right through one of these holes. Down here where the knot is. If you don't double knot it, it's probably not going to last long. So, yeah, so that's it, guys. I'm just going to beat it into submission for a little bit, and obviously figure out what I'm going to do on that bottom string, but for now it makes a fashionable hat. And I'll talk to you guys in a couple minutes when I start the shooters and stuff like that. So, see you later. Thanks for watching.